Well, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to yet another TravelMole COVID-19 broadcast. And this one actually slightly different. And this is where we're trying to help some people that have suffered a little during the COVID crisis. I'm sure everybody's had their down days. Some have been worse than others. And I'm delighted to welcome onto this interview two young ladies that are actually going to be running a wellness day in conjunction with TravelMole on July the 17th. Which is in a couple of weeks' time. And welcome, Sarah. Welcome, Andrea.
Thank you. Hello.
Hello, everyone.
Good. Well, Sarah, you work actually for a business travel management company, Ace Travel. Do you think that the travel industry has suffered more so than any other industry, or are we just focusing on the travel industry in terms of mental health and in terms of well-being?
I think it has suffered more than many others, if not all others, because don't forget that our business, the travel industry, started seeing a decline right back in January when COVID was first recognized in China, and we had flights cancelling then. And I remember in February, a lot of our corporate clients issuing policies saying no more business travel, at least until the end of March. Little did we know that we'd still be in this situation so many months further down the road. So to imagine that your business has declined by 30%, 50% is so hard to bear. But imagine it's declined by over 100%. Literally, there weren't flights, there weren't planes in the sky. Hotels were closing. There simply was no travel going on. And everything that we had booked prior to that in December and January and February for the future months, March, April, May, and so forth, we were just cancelling, rebooking or cancelling and having to refund. So for the whole supply chain of travel, whether you're in business travel or leisure travel or MICE events and groups and incentives, the airlines, the hotels, the ground transportation services, everything. It's just had the airports, the services at the airports. It's just had an enormous effect, unimaginable.
Okay. Andrea, you run a company called Talent Courtyard, which actually specialises in bringing people together to improve their well-being. What are the common complaints do you think that would come out of this COVID crisis? Because I think, me saying people had down days and some people have up days, that's almost trivialising it, because some people will come out of this with some severe difficulty, won't they?
Yeah, thank you for your question, Graham. So I would like to cite a little bit from Paul Former, Chief Executive of Mind. The Mind assessment has just come out today that they did with 16,000 people within the UK. And there they mentioned that mental health issues will be more serious than ever before. Some of the reasons have been obviously cited by the lockdown. So there will be things like people losing their jobs, also financial difficulties, but also just being at home and facing loneliness for some people. These are all issues that people will need to cope with. And another thing that I think will be very important to see is the change people are going through. So we had to go through a change beforehand into the lockdown. Now we need to go through another change coming out of lockdown in some ways. So I think that will have an impact on people's well-being as usual. I'm really hoping that there will be a lot more initiatives to help people cope with these things, and that's what Mind asked for as well. And because of this, I'm also really, really happy that we are organizing such a current event as this one.
Good. Sarah, let's get on to the specifics of the day. July the 17th. It's going to be a virtual, of course, these days everything's virtual. It's going to be a virtual day when we're going to be going through some very nice things, explaining some things, generally giving a warm blanket, if you like, around some of the people that will be suffering from these. What else will it do? Will it actually give people the opportunity to, once this is over, to connect with other people? Andrea mentioned Mind, which is obviously becoming better known as the the charity for mental health. Will we be able to do that afterwards? Will there be representatives of Mind on the day?
We don't at the moment have a representative from Mind, although Andrea has reached out to them. But we certainly have a statement from them, and I think we're hoping for a video at least. They're very, very busy at the moment, as you can imagine. I like your expression, warm blanket, because I think that's exactly what we need at the moment. And all the usual tricks that we may all have for making ourselves feel better when we're under pressure or under stress are not available to us at the moment. Going for a nice massage, or going to a spa, or having a lovely day out somewhere. We don't have those opportunities at the moment. So this is just that, trying to just put a nice warm blanket around people, make them feel better for the day, and hopefully that will have a longer lasting effect than that, and certainly be able to connect with Mind, and we'll be sure to have some signposting for that during the day also.
Okay, Andrea, what are the specifics of the day? What are we going to be doing during that day?
Yeah, so we are going to have a very full-on day. We start at 9 a.m. and finish by 9 p.m. Obviously, since we're talking about a well-being event, we are very looking forward to have people there for the full day, but it's an open event, so people can come in and come back and come and leave and come back again. There will be some introductions. Obviously, we will welcome everyone, and we also want people to socialize a little bit, so there will be some time for people to network as well if they wanted to. Then we will start with a yoga activity. There will be some yoga and meditation straight at the beginning, so people can warm up. They can also get into the mood if they wanted to. And then we will go on to some selected optional workshops, which will be looking at all the 5 senses that we have. So we will have something that will be very visual. There will be something that will be treating our ears. So we will have, for example, a classical piano concert. We will also have things that we can create, like a mask making workshop, which is quite current at the moment. Then we will also have an opportunity for smoothie making, and we will have other opportunities where we can learn some reflexology exercises, so tapping, learning how we can handle our own stress levels with just some small, very simple exercises throughout the day. These will be optional workshops, and they will treat us throughout the whole day, so there will be a couple of other timelines in the morning and early afternoon and late afternoon when people can try out these exercises. And then afterwards, we will end up with a travel quiz and some raffle, which I'm really excited about. We will have some opportunity for everyone so that people can socialize a little bit with each other and leave with a nice treatment, nice pampering, and some social interactions with fellow travel industry professionals.
Excellent. Now, Sarah, one of the if you like, byproducts of this is to try and raise money for Mind. People can register. I know the details are held on our own website and TravelMole, but I don't know if you have them to hand. If you do, that's good. But people can register. It's £25 for the day, and all of that money goes towards Mind. Is that correct?
Yes, the fees from Talent Courtyard are taken out for their therapists who are doing the day, and we expect to raise quite a bit of money for Mind, depending on how many people we get. So the more, the better.
Excellent. Andrea, final word to you. Are you expecting good things from this? You're expecting to, help people, not just on that day, but actually give them some skill sets and some methods in which they can help themselves in the future when perhaps there aren't those support groups around.
Thank you for this question, Graham. I really appreciate it, because the idea with all the activities we do is really to give people a toolkit. So this is going to be a start to something. And we always encourage people to take a few tools away, maybe try out different activities. Everyone is going to use different tools to manage their well-being. As you are different, I am different, Sarah is different. We all have different things that help our mind and our physical well-being as well. So we just need to find what works well for us and then hopefully continue to do that. Because usually these things are useful if we try them out once, but they are really, really useful when we make a habit out of them and we continue using these things for a longer period of time.
Good. Well, ladies, thank you very much for your time. For the listeners, go to TravelMole.com or to Talent Courtyard to register for this event. I'm sure it's going to be an absolutely invaluable day for a lot of people that are suffering. And even for people that aren't suffering, as Andrea said, it's going to be something that skill sets and methods and processes that one can take forward in the future if you're having a bad day or if you're having a bad time. So thank you very much, and all the very, very best of luck for the day, July the 17th.
Thank you very much, Graham.
Thanks,
Graham.
Okay, thank you.